Yeah, that's freezing. Oh, I don't want to get in there. So I've said to myself, at least once a week, I'm hopping in that sea, because how can I live right next to the ocean and not go in it? So at least once a week, I'm making use of my surroundings. And today, after 30 minutes fast cardio, little hop in. And this is not a bad spot to do a YouTube video. Okay, so I just finished my first quarter of my sophomore year at college, and it's been very go, go, go. And I just came back from the Olympia weekend, so I've literally had no time to process anything that's happening. It's just what's the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And in these last 2 days, I feel like I've had some time to just process what's happened, and I want to do a video talking about the last 10 weeks. I said I wanted these two main things, and I'll show the clip right now. So my two main goals as of now are to get the best grades possible and to be as good as I possibly can with bodybuilding, the fitness, and the social media side of things. So I thought I'd start with the bodybuilding side of things. So how's the 10 weeks gone in that sense? So I started, I believe, 184 pounds when I first came to college off the flight. I dropped all the way to the low 170s at the peak of my cut. So obviously I wasn't doing a show or anything, but I did get really lean because I wanted to get my body in a good position to really go back up again, you know, almost like a yo-yo effect. And that was an experience in itself. It was definitely tough. Having just gone to Olympia weekend and seeing these guys, they do a bodybuilding show at the top level. I mean, they're literally ridiculously low body fat. I wasn't extremely low, but I was still pretty low. And that was an experience. It looks great in pictures, but feeling wise, you're hungry, you're tired. Literally, I go to bed early because I wanted to wake up the next day and just eat. And then obviously balancing that with uni as well, and all the other things that come along. It was definitely a lot, but that is the hardest I've gone in that area, especially the nutrition side. And I feel like I've come out the other end a lot more knowledgeable and confident in my abilities to not give up when it gets hard and just keep pushing, even when my mind is all messed up, just sticking to the plan, digging deep. On the nutrition side of things, it was my first time actually being completely self-sufficient in the cooking. So last year they had the dining commons, so I'd eat there. And that was definitely stressful. I didn't know if I could really do it, you know, going to the shops when I don't have a car. So figuring that out, obviously prepping days in advance, and then just making the time to do it, because there's so many things you need to do when you're at uni. Could I make the time to actually prep my food, store it, and just make it work? And the answer was yes. And again, I can look back now and it's like, it's just cool because I just know that this side of my life, like this area, I can control it and I can make it work. But it was almost like, you know, when you throw a baby bird off the side of a cliff and then you just say, let it fly. Hopefully it does fly. That was kind of how I went into this year, because if I didn't manage to fix that and just get the diet going, then it would have been tough. My progress definitely would not have gone the way that it did. Training wise, I've been doing a slightly higher volume, which I've really been enjoying. And the cardio supplemented with that has also, I think, really helped. And also just in the fitness space, I've met a lot more people this year that are like-minded and doing a similar thing. And that's one of the reasons that I'm just so grateful to be out here in America and California, because that actually is like a bodybuilding culture. You know, in England, I remember a lot of the times I would feel, even though I went to King's, you know, the rest of everywhere I went, it's like I'm doing this thing which no one else is doing, and I just felt almost just very isolated in my pursuits and my interests. And coming here and having other people that are actually genuinely interested in the same thing, and I can learn and grow and push other people, that's a great feeling. So that has been a very positive aspect of this quarter. And then on the bulk right now, obviously, as you'd know from the bulking series, I am now actually back up to the mid 180s in the morning, and I'm way leaner than I was when I was mid 180s when I first came. So it's nice, you know, I'm the same weight, but I look way better and I feel better, and I'm better in the gym. So just all cylinders are firing in that sense, so it's nice. But on that point, having just come from the Olympia weekend, where do I even start with that? Just the standard, there's just something about seeing these people that you've seen on your phone in real life that makes it more real. I mean, that sounds stupid, but as in, it just hammered home the reality of, on one hand, this is great because this is possible. People can do this. There really are people that are top of the level. But then at the same time, it also hammered home the reality that look how many people are here and look how few people are up on that Olympia stage and the best of what they do. And just the realization for me is just focus, like the sacrifices, just the dedication that is needed to get to that level. It becomes more clear. Like you kind of see through all these distractions that I'm partaking in right now that need to go if I need to elevate myself to the top level I can be. So linking to this, another point that I said at the start was to do with social media. Now, this quarter has been great for my social media. I think on Instagram alone, I've gone from just hitting 10K in summer to now pretty much at 50K, which is incredible. But on the other hand, I've taken these last couple of days to reflect on what do I really want, like what do I want in the future, and actually going to Olympia has made me realize how competitive it is at the top level and what is necessary to reach the top level. What I mean by that is, for example, if I film a workout like yesterday, right? For this YouTube video today, I could have taken my tripod to the gym and filmed the workout because I didn't have my videographer. And of course I want to share as much content as possible online, but at the end of the day, how is that going to affect my session if I am focused on getting the best angles, talking to the camera, and trying to almost entertain a video, when really I just want to get the best out of a leg day. So it was a leg day yesterday and I killed it late night, but I definitely wouldn't have been able to be in the same zone or flow state if I was carrying around a camera. There's just no two ways about it. So it's like understanding that with the social media, of course I want to grow that. Of course I want to show that as much of my journey as possible. But at the same time, my priority is the bodybuilding first. And then obviously I'm not saying you can't do both, but I need to remember what I'm really trying to be great at. I'm not trying to be the best YouTuber. I'm trying to do the best YouTube I can on top of being the best bodybuilder I can be. So secondary, and I still think I can do both, but in some situations, like yesterday, when I have the dilemma, do I film my workout on a tripod carrying it around because I don't have my videographer, or do I just go balls to the walls on my leg day and give it all I got and just be focused and in my zone? The answer that I know is right is the latter. I need to be in my zone and give it all I got, because it's going to pay for what I want in the future. On the topic of social media as well, in reflection, there's almost like a dilemma that I'm in right now, and that is the problem of wanting to post at a certain frequency to make sure you're getting content out, but then having the issue of how good is that content. Consistency is key, as everyone knows, but it's almost strange with the two things that I'm doing here, how they link together and the way growth is in these two fronts. So for example, with the gym, it's like physical, it's with my body. Progress only comes in almost like a slow, consistent increase. It's very different with social media. The growth can literally be exponential, and it doesn't have to go in this kind of linear fashion. Social media can pick up like a snowball effect. You know, for example, Instagram, if I post one reel that does really well, that can just 3 times your following. And it just doesn't work like that with the gym. So doing these two pursuits, but the way progress and growth happens is so different, is weird, because I need to be in 2 different kind of headspaces and mindsets at the same time. So on that point, obviously you need consistencies to grow. You know, everyone says you need to post at least once a week on YouTube. And for me, I've been doing daily on Instagram since September. And the Instagram's been working, but with the YouTube, it's like, it comes sometimes to the end of the week where I know I need to post, and then I'm kind of cobbling together a video, and it's kind of just, it's not me doing the best I possibly can, it's almost just me doing the bare minimum just to get a video out, and that's not the mindset I want to be in. So figuring out how I can just schedule in more time to really think and obsess about the video and get it out, have it done early, like have a backlog of videos, not just making it just to meet the deadline. I'm happy that I have done a video every single week since the start of this quarter, but at the same time, I think the quality just needs to be better. I need to just constantly be progressing, because I know that you can't progress without consistency, but now the consistency is there is no excuse to not just be getting better. Okay, so that's the bodybuilding and the social media, but the other aspect I talk about was the uni, the grades. How am I doing in that? Am I dedicating all my time to the bodybuilding and social media and then absolutely flopping my grades? And the answer is no. Well, at least from what I know now, because out of the 4 classes I took this quarter, I've only got 2 grades back. Because of the TA strike, there's basically a TA strike, meaning that some of my assignments haven't been marked. If they haven't been marked, I haven't got the feedback to be able to give me my final grade in 2 out of the 4 classes. But in the 2 classes I have got the grades back, I've got A+. And then in the other 2 that are remaining, I'm pretty certain, obviously I don't get ahead of myself, but I'm pretty certain I've also got at least A's. So the uni went well this quarter, which is great. I do think though that it's like I'm missing out some parts of my life when I say that the main 2 things that I wanted to do were the bodybuilding, social media, and then the grades, right? Because what about the social side of my life? What about relationships? What about times with friends and all that stuff, right? And I do look back, and especially living in a house right now with literally 30 guys, there's probably this only chance in my life right now where I'm gonna have the opportunity. And sometimes I feel like I'm just so in my own bubble and just what's next, within the confines of those 2 things that I really wanted to do well this quarter, that I just miss out on that. And sometimes in life, like the best things that happen, they almost happen spontaneously, and you need to like give yourself enough room for that spontaneity to even occur. For example, the videographer I met this quarter, who is a G, I actually met him on the way when I was biking to the gym. So I was biking to the gym late night, and I just see this guy, and he's got a good camera, and he's just taking pictures and videos on the path. It was just outside maybe the, there was a sporting event going on, maybe like football. And I biked past him, and I was going pretty quick, and then I was just thinking in my head, like, you know what, just go ask him what he's doing, you know, just out of curiosity. What's he doing? Maybe this could be your guy. I was looking for a videographer at the time, so I did have a conversation with him, and lo and behold, we've done a couple of videos now, and he's a really, really great guy. And it's just like, I didn't plan for that, but just being open-minded in a situation allowed for that relationship to occur. But in other areas of my life, I'm usually so focused on getting from A to B and not just giving myself any time to just let anything happen, that I'm probably missing out on a lot of things. And so again, it's just a question of balance, really. Can you have it all? I mean, I'd like to think so, but probably not. But at the same time, just not neglecting parts of my life in order to further other areas. And then what's next? What are my goals for when I'm 20 years old? What are my goals in 2023? And the answer to that is, I don't know yet. 2022 is not even over yet, and I still have goals that I wanted to complete within then. And then with the time given until I start my next quarter, and to use it to reflect and set goals, because setting goals is super, super important. If you don't have goals, you have no direction. But how high you set your goals is probably also how good you're gonna do in the next year. So it's not something to be taken lightly. I need to take time to actually really think of what do I really want. I literally remember last year I made them on an 8-hour coach journey at midnight from San Francisco to Santa Barbara on my way back to college. And it's crazy now I'm sitting here, and a lot of them have been ticked off, not all of them, but some big ones that sounded crazy at the time. So I want to make big crazy goals, I want to set the bar high, but I need to really think about with what. So I shall be doing that. But that's enough of me rambling. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I know this is a different kind of video, but hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.